Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Bashara Wilson with New York Sports Acupuncture. Thanks again for coming through and tuning in. Today, we will actually be talking about sports acupuncture and what that is and all of what that entails in terms of diagnosis, how we come about getting to that, and then treatment plan with acupuncture and electric stimulation, heat therapy, massage, nutrition, um, diet, herbs, corrective exercise, the whole gambit. So, hope that you all get some things out of this today. I know you will. And as always, leave your comments and questions, and we will work to get to that. So, are we on here? All right. All right, cool. Yes. So, thanks again, everybody, tuning in wherever you are around the world. It's the last day of the fiscal New Year, Greco Roman calendar, as we like to say. So, yeah, again, we're going to be talking about sports medicine, acupuncture today. So, what is sports medicine, acupuncture, and how does that differ from regular acupuncture? With sports medicine acupuncture, it pretty much just focuses on different conditions like musculoskeletal conditions that folks can deal with, whether acute, whether it's something that happens very recently, or chronic, where it's something that was going on for a long time. And how we go about using that with Eastern medicine and all of the therapies like the acupuncture and nutrition, diet, qigong, the whole everything. And so, with that, part of why I got into sports medicine, acupuncture, is just growing up being very athletic in high school and in college and in afterwards, knowing how it feels to have injuries and working to have an active lifestyle and how that can affect function and how annoying it can be and even how it can even mess with us mentally. And for folks that may not even be athletes, in terms of like professional or semi-professional athletes, folks may just be active in terms of working to go to the gym, playing sports just on an amateur level, whether it's pickup ball or tennis or squash, weightlifting, and even people that are parents that may have neck pain or shoulder pain or back pain and may have trouble picking up their kids. Someone can be a father or a mother and have young children, and always look forward to just picking up their children in the air, and how painful that can be if they can't pick up their child, and how they're like missing out on those memories and things like that because of pain and injury. And so we use the whole holistic fields of Eastern medicine, of acupuncture, Taoist medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, and all of its modalities combined to help you to feel better. So when someone comes in, people usually come in with some type of injury already, where it'd be great if people came in before they were injured so that we can take a look at your health and how it is, your posture, your body constitution. And from there, we may be able to see where different imbalances are and work to even help prevent injury. It's like before you exercise, we all know that we have to warm up and stretch and stay hydrated and take your nutrients and whatever pre-workout, if you take that, hopefully in like a natural form, all of these things to prepare our bodies for whatever activity. But a lot of times as people get older, they may not do these things, or with the whole effects of aging, we can be more susceptible to having different health conditions that we may suffer from on a musculoskeletal level. With work, a lot of us we sit down all day at the desk, and you can be on your computer and kind of have like this forward motion where your neck is like jutting forward and you're like hunched over because you're so much into the work that you're doing, or you're on your computer. Some people may drive a lot, bus drivers, where they're sitting down all day with their leg kind of like cocked up, and they're just pressing the gas and the brakes all day, which is, if you think about it, an unnatural motion. We're meant to be out here moving and grooving, walking around, running around, using our body in all of these different ways. But with modern society, and even some of the sports that we play, it can affect our bodies in unnatural ways. And then on top of that, nobody's body is perfect, meaning nobody's body is like symmetrical. Like when you look at like perfect symmetry, you're thinking about like an ancient Kemetic, ancient so-called Egyptian statue, where when you're looking at it, both sides of it are perfect, both eyes are perfectly aligned, the ears, the nose, the shoulders, the hips, the legs, the knees, everything is perfect. And that's why they look so great to us, because it's just perfect and it's all designed on a grid. And we're not like that. Some people have different health conditions that they may be born with, like scoliosis, where the spine may be slightly tilted to the side or tilted, like I said, either side, which can be throwing off the posture and the nervous system and the muscles and all of that, and the effects of that in that way. And, that can affect the neck, like I say, and the shoulders, the back, the hips, and have that misalignment. One shoulder can be forward or higher than the other. One hip may be twisted forward, or both hips may be twisted forward, or one hip may be kind of like slightly to the side. People may be knock-kneed or bow-legged, maybe have flat feet, or a combination of all of these. And then that then affects our posture. And then with movement, and over time, how our body responds to that, and can end up in certain imbalances and injuries and things like that. When we look at the body, um, just from like a nervous system level, acupuncture works on a lot of different levels. Traditionally, we say how acupuncture works with the flow of our body's chi and blood, the chi being your vital energy, and the blood being the blood. And it's also like another substance in the body that carries those nutrients all throughout the body. And if the chi is low or the chi is stagnant, the blood is not going to have that force that it needs to circulate throughout the blood vessels to all of the organs and the muscles and the joints and things like that. It can make us more likely to get injured, or if we get injured, to not recover as fast as we could. But looking at things, and so with the different acupuncture meridians that flow all throughout the course of the body, it's not just a mystical thing where these meridians also relate, they do relate to different nerves in our body, flow along different blood vessels in our body, along different muscle groups, over the organs, throughout our whole body, everything that we have in it, from the inside as deep as you can go, all the way from the bone level and the cellular level, all the way out to the skin. And we use the acupuncture, the herbs, the diet, exercise, lifestyle, mental health, even, to help to regulate that and balance that in the best way that we can. There's certain things that I may do in the office in terms of the physical part of the acupuncture and the tween arm massage and heat and different recommendations that I make. But a lot of the work and most of the work is what you would be doing at home, because you're with yourself 24/7, versus um when you might see me 1 hour or 2 hours a week or 3 times a week, however long that I might see you when you come in. Quick, let's take a look at the comments real quick. Mm. Peace, Krishanda. Krishanda says Bishu, which is a nickname of mine from high school and college. It's my old school folks that know me in that way. She says, Bishu, will I be able to view this and share after the presentation? Most definitely. This will be saved. It'll be on my profile on Facebook, and it will also be on my YouTube channel. All of my past lives and my shorts are on my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Bashar Wilson, on all channels. So thank you, and I appreciate that and appreciate the support and everything over the years too. All right. All right. Thanks for all my folks tuning in on Instagram and Facebook and all of the channels there. All right. Hugo Plays says hi. Peace. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. All right. So again, when we're talking about the body's chi and the blood, our chi and blood is circulating through our body. And we say when the chi is weak or is stagnant, not flowing well, the blood is not going to be able to circulate to everywhere that it needs in our body, whether to our eyes, dealing with our vision and blurry vision, headaches, all of the different symptoms that you may have throughout the body, whether you're dealing on an organ level with the heart and the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, the intestines, reproductive health. We want to make sure that our body's chi and blood is flowing well. Um, so if there's, and also if the blood is weak, the blood can be stagnant also, where the blood is with a different injury. Like if you have like a black and blue mark, we say that's like stagnant blood in that area. Or sometimes if the body is too cold, or even with overheating, but if the body is too cold, that can also slow down the flow of our blood and our chi circulation, which is going to make us more susceptible to being injured through that stiffness and through that just lack of flow in general. We got to be in the flow of life in general. And so, on a physical, mental, emotional, psycho, spiritual level, we have to be moving and we have to be in that flow. And anything that slows down that flow is going to make us more susceptible to injury. And so, back to the sports medicine, again, whether we're dealing with the nervous system, the muscular system, our joints and things, just to get into some quick anatomy and physiology, stick with me. Um, when you look at all of our skeletal system, all of our bones throughout our body, and specifically looking at our vertebrae, we have our skull and then all the bones in our spine, from our neck to our thoracic spine, to our lower back and the lumbar, all the way down. Now, the bones all stack on top of each other. So you got the bones, and then in between each bone is a disc. And in that space in between each of the bones in our vertebrae, the nerves branch off. I'm sure you've all seen pictures of the nervous system where you see the nerves branching off from each level. Now, the nerves in your neck, when they branch off from like the lower part of your neck, like the fifth, sixth, seventh, and the eighth nerve, they all go down your arms to your fingers and your hands. And so, if there's some sort of like slip disc in the neck, crook in your neck, or anything, neck spasm, that can be pinching on the nerves in the neck that flow down into the arms and the hands. And you can get sometimes a radiating pain down the arms and in the hands. And oftentimes, when we have numbness and tingling and pain in the hands, it can come from a pinched nerve, whether directly from, say, like typing too much with, what is that called? My brain, sorry. Somebody put it in the chat. You know what I'm talking about. I'm having a little brain miss right now. Senior moment, not quite senior, but if a nerve is pressed on in the neck, it's going to affect the blood circulation and how the nervous system communicates with the hands, and leads to that numbness and tingling in the hands and in the arms. So it's all, sometimes these things aren't just from locally, but we have to go to the source. And the different things that we may do with acupuncture, in those to affect those small muscles in the neck, to release that muscle spasm. The same way you can get a Charlie horse in your leg or in your arm, you can get a Charlie horse in the small muscles that go in between each of the vertebrae. And so, as we help to relieve that with the acupuncture, with electric stimulation, with heat, with massage, with the different exercises that you would do at home, that will not only relieve the neck pain, but can also relieve the radiculopathy, or the numbness and tingling that may be radiating down into the shoulders, down the arms, and into the hands and in the fingertips. That can even affect with like cold hands and feet, this time of the year, as we're in the winter season. As we go down into the back, and then what they call the thoracic vertebrae, which is like your rib cage area, that's where your heart and your lungs, and even going down into like your liver and your stomach and the pancreas and the spleen and your digestive system. Um, if those nerves are pressed and compressed in the back due to aging, due to posture, due to injury, or any other sorts of things, overuse, sleeping the wrong way, um, like I say, congenital stuff from the way that people are born. If we have that compression in the back, in the upper back, that can affect our heart health and our lung health. Heart disease is one of the main things that goes on in this country. And when you look at the back and then the mid back in terms of like the third, fourth, fifth thoracic vertebrae, there can be a tightening in those muscles in the upper back, and that tightening in the muscles can then affect how the nervous system communicates with the heart and the lungs. When I'm talking about the nervous system, I'm talking about the central nervous system, which is your brain and your spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, which are those nerves that we were talking about that branches off from the neck and the upper and the lower back and goes down into the arms and the legs, and into all the organs, the muscles, the skin, tissues everywhere. The nervous system is one of the main ways that our body communicates with the brain, and the brain communicates back to the rest of the body in that circuit. When we get to the lower back, the nerves in the lower back would branch off and go down into the legs. A lot of people are familiar with sciatica. The sciatic nerve is a large nerve that goes from like the hips all the way down the back of the legs, and to the lower legs, and all the way, branches off from there into the feet. And if somebody has like a compression on that sciatic nerve, that can then send that radiating pain down the legs. Um, and similarly, like the neck, also the nerves in your lower back. If you have low back pain and tightness in the lower back, that's going to compress those nerves, and that can affect even the health of like your kidneys on a subtle level, affect your digestive health if folks have um, irregular bowel movements or slow intestinal like evacuation, where people may, instead of going to the bathroom once or twice a day, they're going every other day or once or twice a week, or even less than that sometimes. Reproductive health in terms of impotence or even infertility, that can even be related to the nerves and the muscles and the bones, and how all of that functions in the lower back. But going to injury, when people have hip pain, leg pain, knee pain, ankle pain, foot pain, all of this can actually be rooted from the lower back and how the nerves branch off the lower back. So, similarly to how we would treat the neck, we would go in and do some different tests similar to things that you might do at the physical therapist or the chiropractor, different orthopedic and neurological tests that help us to identify the area from. And then that's in addition to all of the different questions that we might ask you in terms of what happened, how did it start, how long has it been going on, what makes it worse, what makes it better, is it a dull pain? Is it a sharp pain on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst? Where would you put that on that whole scale of pain? What else have you done? Is it better with warmth, or is it better with cold? All of these different things all give us an idea of what's going on um, with the pain and the injury, and how we would then go about setting a treatment plan so that you feel better. One of the things, excuse me one second, one of the other diagnostic methods that we do in the office is we do a posture analysis, where I have a program software where we take a picture of your posture from the front, the back, the right, and the left sides. And that's where we look at it together. It's on the grid, and you can see the different imbalances in your posture, whether your head is forward, one shoulder might be higher than the other, or forward, or the hips. the knees, the ankles. Like, for example, one of the most common things again that I see is people's like head is forward. And like I say, everything I say, the shoulders. And so when we look at the posture, the ears, the shoulders, the hips, the knees, and the ankles from the side should be in a straight line. A lot of people's head is forward. And so with the software is able to, I guess, look at the size of someone's head and say, hey, your head weighs approximately 13.1 pounds. But with the forward head, your body is experiencing your head is weighing 37 pounds. And so, and this is very common. I've seen it as high as like 40, 50, 60 pounds, where the person's head is so forward, it's almost like as if you're like leaning over a cliff. And there are muscles in the back of the head and the neck that go from like the back of your skull, like the base of your skull, down the back of your neck, and it anchors in like your upper back. And if you can imagine, if your head is forward, those muscles are like really pulling down. And so that's going to lead to neck pain. That's going to lead possibly to headaches. You know, sisters that have had their hair braided or cornrowed. I used to get my hair cornrowed back in the day. You feel it tight, Um, you blink and you could feel your whole scalp moving. Imagine with your head forward, if the tight braids made someone feel that way, made you feel like that. Imagine how it feels to have that forward motion, and how tight that can be on the neck. And then that goes even into like the upper shoulders and like the traps in the upper back, and throws off the posture and can even affect the lower back, and even down to the legs and the knees. And so one area of the body can be injured where you feel the pain, but the root of it can be in a whole nother area. And so, with the acupuncture in the sports medicine acupuncture, we're using the needles to go in to help to release the spasm, literally helps the muscle to reset. And sometimes I can see the muscle like jump, and then it resets, because like the muscles, how they flow, when your muscles are contracting, when you're like making a muscle, they go like this, and when they relax, they go like this. But sometimes if you have a muscle spasm, the muscles are just contracted and stuck together. And so now you're having, instead of this motion, you're having like this sort of motion. And so with the acupuncture, it'll help the muscle to what we say is fasciculate, where it'll jump and reset like boom, and then it's able to function effectively. With the acupuncture, in the muscle, in the joint, and anywhere, but specifically in the muscles that may have like a spasm, or maybe tight, or whatever is going on, or even longer. But say for if it's in spasm, I'm putting the electric stimulation on the muscle. And so the electric stimulation is stimulating the muscle to contract and relax. And it ultimately contracts. So the whole time with the electric stimulation, over the course of the treatment, is causing the muscle to just contract and relax on its own, you know, throughout the course of the treatment, maybe like 18, 20 minutes, that we might have the e-stim on electric stimulation on to help in that way. I'm also using infrared heat. One of the things, especially with a chronic health condition, or any chronic health condition, but with a chronic muscle pain, we want to use like a heat pack on it. And that heat is going to help the blood circulate to the area. Any sort of effects of injury, when there's injury, there's oftentimes swelling, which is the white blood cells and damaged red blood cells and other fluids and body chemicals that go to the area. But once, as the body is healing, we want that swelling to dissipate and go back into the circulation so that it can be eliminated from the body. But oftentimes, especially if we put cold on it, the cold stagnates that fluid in that area. And so now that swelling, it just kind of just congeals in a place where it's not supposed to be. So that heat literally helps to melt away the pain and melt away the swelling that's in that area, and help new blood, fresh fluids to get to the area and activate your body's ability to heal itself. And so we use like an infrared heat lamp, which is, it feels great, to help to penetrate deep into, from the skin to the muscles, with the blood circulation, helps to relax the muscles, helps to nourish the area, And the heat itself, those infrared waves also have their own healing properties to them, in addition to just being hot. After we do all of that, we take the needles out, turn off the heat. We're going to go in and do some massage, because when there's injury, again, we want to, and with the muscles and the joints, we want to help increase the flexibility in the area. We want to break up any knots that may be there, help the blood circulate to or from the area, help fluids circulate to or from the area. So we get different techniques where we may just massage with the fingers, massaging with the palms, a rolling technique with the back of the hand. Sometimes maybe you have to get the forearm in there or the elbow in there, all of that to really help to loosen up the area and have you feeling like $1,000,000. And all of this again helps to activate the healing process that goes on in the body, because when the body is healing, at some point, the body's process of healing can stop. And so when it stops, it's like, when you get a cut, it will naturally close up, scab over, heal, leave a scar or something like that. When we have, say, on a large injury, whether we're talking about neck pain, we're talking about shoulder pain, we're talking about back pain or hip pain or arthritis in the knees, the body has an ability to heal itself, but it's sometimes that healing process stops. And now that injury becomes the new normal, where you're functioning inside of injury. One of the things that we're doing when you come in for the acupuncture and the different therapies, it helps to reactivate that healing process. Because of acupuncture, we're sticking small needles in the body. Now, they're very small, nothing like a hypodermic needle if you've never had acupuncture. They're hair thin. Most clients will actually fall asleep during treatment. See some of my folks on here that are clients of mine already, currently, or have been in the past, and they'll tell you they fall asleep, got the essential oils going, have some nice relaxing music going, the heat, the electric stimulation kind of contracting and relaxing, and most people knock out. And when they fall asleep, that's actually helping to stimulate the healing process. Also, with the sympathetic nervous system relaxed and the parasympathetic nervous system kicking in, that whole fight or flight versus rest and relax. When you're in pain, you're in a constant fight or flight. And so with acupuncture, it all helps to relax that and let the healing, go into the body. When you're not in the fight or flight and worried about survival, again, your body's ability to heal itself can kick in and take over and do what you're naturally able to do. Say we do the massage, and then that's pretty much it. We might use some different oils, some medicated oils that also help to supplement the flow of your body's chi and blood. Some of them may warm the area. If there's inflammation, some things may help to cool the area, or a combination of the two. um, yeah, and then that's pretty much it with that. And then at home, we give you different corrective exercises that you would do. Um, we discuss the posture analysis with how the neck can be forward, or the shoulder, hip, knees, ankle, feet imbalances. There are different things that you can do at home to help, again, to reconnect your brain to your knees, to your ankles, to your hips, your neck, your shoulders, your lower back, whatever area may be off with the exercises, is going to help make you more aware of how you may be, because you may notice that you're sitting and you're slouching, or that you're sitting and you're holding your shoulders tight, or your neck may be, or your head may be forwarded, and so you're like, oh, let me relax my neck, let me pull my neck back, oh, let me bring my shoulders back and down, oh, let me relax my lower back, let me relax my knees, my ankles, my feet. And then it's like, oh wow, I'm actually noticing where my posture is off, and not being hyper aware, but making those adjustments. And then your body then kicks in to keep that process going. And that's also going to support you and your body in the time, in the days between treatment. The different nutrition things that we want to do, eating natural foods, healthy foods that are going to help to, of course, decrease inflammation and help support the body to not have more inflammation. So, of course, just basic, all the junk foods. Um, this time of the year again, as it's cold outside and getting cold outside, we want to eliminate the cold foods that you're eating. So you may want to cut down on the salads if you're eating a lot of salads, even though that's healthy, and do more like your soups, your stews, your roasted vegetables, your steamed vegetables, and or your steamed foods, your lightly, your pan fried foods, whatever it is, not fried, but like the Chinese style, just quick fried foods or whatever, quick cooked foods. Forgot what the term is for. Vinny, help me out. I see you on here. Um, yeah, and so yeah, and that's pretty much what we do. Some different herbs and things that you can do also that are going to help support your body, from the inside out, instead of taking the pharmaceutical drugs. If you're not a person that wants to take pharmaceutical drugs and medications, there are a lot of things that we can do that are going to support the flow of your body's chi and blood, help to strengthen your joints, help to strengthen your back and all of your organs, help to move your chi and your blood where it may be stagnant. There's certain herbs also that have an affinity to go to the neck or the shoulders or the lower back or the knees and the feet and the ankle. And all of these things would be in an herbal formula, whether that's a tea or capsules or granules, which are your instant powder, and all of these things like that. So, just on the herbs, you can check us out at manifestherbs.com. On there, I have a bunch of great herbal formulas. I have one like a joint pain tea. I have some things to help to strengthen the blood. One of the favorites that folks love is the detox formula, the colon cleanse, all sorts of things. And if you're interested in having, which I recommend, a personalized formula, you can inbox me, and send me a message, and we can, have a conversation there. If you're on Instagram, in terms of inbox, I'm more active on there. Facebook too. Um, but best so I don't miss you and you don't miss me, you can give me a call at 888-375-5444. That's my answering service. So you can call that any time of day and somebody will answer that and leave a message. And from there, and if you know me personally, send me a message. I know I got some calls to return for some folks here that I see, have communicated with me over the past couple days and today. So I will get back to you after we're done with this so that we finish the year on a good note in that way. And here's also my website, NY Sports Acu or New York Sports Acupuncture.com. You can check me out there. And yeah, let's set it up. Let's get you on your own personalized treatment plan, whether you're coming in person. And even for my folks that aren't able to get to my office in Brooklyn, I'm on like the Bed-Stuy Bushwick border. If you can't get here, there may be some things that we can still do over the phone where we can still actually, you can take a picture of your posture, have a loved one take a picture of you from the front and the sides and the back, and we can look at your posture in that way and get you some corrective exercises. We can also do some things around lifestyle changes, nutrition, herbs, the corrective exercises, all sorts of things. So, yeah. I am Kathleen Booker said, just back from NYE run, getting ready to stretch. Enjoy all that you're sharing. Thank you for tuning in, Kathleen Booker. I appreciate that. And actually had some folks this year and in past years helped them train for the New York City Marathon and also the Boston Marathon, some triathletes and folks that do CrossFit, and I'm an acupuncturist. I work with the Liberty, help them get that chip to bring that to New York this year. So that was great to help them out, to keep them healthy with all of that. So, working with professional, semi pro, amateur, your everyday folks. If there are any questions or comments, please put that in the chat. Krishanda says again, thanks again, Krishanda, for tuning in. She says, I would like the colon cleanse. No doubt. It's excellent too. It's something where it's like an easy colon cleanse where it's not like you'll be afraid to be out in public or be um stuck in the bathroom or near a bathroom, even though you would be, moving more frequently than you will. But I noticed that what goes on is that instead of someone going um once or twice a day, you may go 3 times a day or 4 times a day. And when people move, there's a larger volume that comes out. And you're actually one of the first people I know, Krishanda, on the health kick. I remember when we were in college at Wesley, and I remember when you used to not eat until after like 3 or 4 o'clock, and that was always kind of dope to me. And people are all into intermittent fasting now, and you were on that back in like the 90s. So kudos to that and that influence, and that always stuck out to me. So no doubt. All right. Any other questions? Anybody on Instagram have any questions, or Facebook, or anything? Shonda said, no doubt. You know how we do. You know how we do. All right. So with that, if we don't have any more questions or comments, again, I'm your brother, Dr. Bashara Wilson. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine in private practice, officially as a licensed acupuncturist here in New York since 2003, and started formally in school back in 98. I'm just talking about college right after I graduated. Kind of knew what I wanted to do and was blessed to find the school that I went to that had like an accredited degree where, and that was from 98 to 2002. Then I went back to school later and for my doctorate. And over the years, different trainings and specializing in the sports medicine, acupuncture, and how that's been able to greatly help my practice, and with all of the different things that we discussed today around sports athlete and um, helping athletes with that. Krishanda asked me to pause so she can get a screen grab, so I will smile or show my cool face from Brooklyn. So I don't know if I'm smiling or not smiling. I'm in a New York state of mind, as Rakim said. All right. Thank you. And thank you for that continued support over the years. And again, you can find me at newyorksportsacupuncture.com or nysportsacu.com. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And if there aren't any more comments or questions, we will say peace. And for all the folks that celebrate the new year, enjoy yourself. Oh, okay. So all the folks that are enjoying yourself, be safe out here, and we will go. Ask for another screen grab. So go ahead.